once a year I express my disappointment. In retrospect, I didn't mind it at the time. I was pro KD going to Golden State, but in retrospect, especially after watching what's happened with Curry the last few years, I'm slightly bummed out that KD and Curry were on the same team for those 3 years because I just wish it had been the Steph show the whole time. And I think in 18, if no KD and they had done whatever with the salary and matched up and just had been the Steph team versus the LeBron team, and LeBron, that was the tail end of his apex, right? 2018. That was his last truly great, dominant, he could do it game after game kind of year. And Curry technically should have been in his prime right around then, and we could have just seen them collide like two great boxers. But, Curry's team was better, and we kind of didn't totally get it. When it happened in 2016, I think LeBron was at a slightly different point of his career than Curry was. So now we're getting in 2023. Curry is somehow not only in his extended prime. I said this to you last pod or 2 pods ago. I think this is the best he's ever been. I just think has just complete command of everything now in a way that maybe there were 90% pieces of it here or there, but what I'm watching now, I just think this is the best he's ever been. You can't say that about LeBron.
But it's not fair. It's not fair though, because he's 38.
He's 38 and he's been in the league 20 years. He can have a quarter. So I think we're going to have moments in this series where it's like a fourth quarter where LeBron rises to the occasion like he did in Memphis Game 4. And Curry's feeling it and we can have it. But I don't know if LeBron can do that game to game, half to half the same way. Do you?
Well, we haven't seen him have to do it, but I mean, other than 3-point shooting, I loved him in this series. I loved him picking his spots. I loved in game 2
the Memphis
realizing,
series, yeah.
I left this series going, this was really impressive. Whereas there's times he could have been a 30-point scorer this year, and it still speaks to how talented and how dominant he is at this age. But he definitely paces himself, which I'm never going to be critical of him because it's kind of a necessity. But not that he doesn't understand the game as well as anybody, but him knowing exactly when to ramp it up and do exactly what they needed. Again, I know the 3-point shooting wasn't good against Memphis, but I had multiple moments in that series where I was like, look at what this guy's doing right now. And it's not just the block or a dunk here. It's he has to be their best player and carry them and win a series.
Yeah.
So I was impressed with him.
You know what this is? I thought I was really impressed with LeBron too, because he kind of knew they probably weren't winning game 5 and they had just played 2 nights before, and you could see he was doing this tightrope dance of, do I use some chips in this game or not? Decided really not to. But this Curry LeBron thing at this point, it's like a hoops IQ fucking summit. I just think both of those guys, I always thought, I wrote a column in summer 2014 about LeBron as a genius because he was such a great athlete. It was like his hoops IQ part kind of got glossed over because he was just so amazing to watch. People kind of didn't understand. Doug Collins, that year I spent with Doug Collins, we talked about it all the time, and he would talk about all these little things he saw with LeBron that somebody like me probably wouldn't have noticed. There's a genius with Curry too, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, where that sense of not only the moment, but what his team needs, when to kind of really step on the pedal, when to pull back. In the game today where it's like, oh shit, nobody has it. I guess I have to shoot 38 shots. I don't think Steph ever wants to go into a game shooting 30 plus shots. I just don't. I think his dream game is 11 for 24. Clay gets off, or 11 or 12 for 13 for 24, something like that.
That sounds better. Hey,
this is going to be like a chess match, not a checkers match between these two guys, trying to figure out, where the weaknesses are, basically.
Okay, so what question are you asking about the Curry LeBron thing? Because I think I derailed you from actually getting to the point you want to make.
I think it reminds me of Hagler Leonard in 87, where it would have been a lot more awesome to have it in 81, but it's still going to be fucking awesome. And I do think there's some legacy stuff on the line a tiny bit here.
Is there?
A tiny bit. I do. Because if the Warriors beat them again, right? And now he's beaten them in 23 and 18 and 17 and 15. right? You go toe to toe, you're 4-1. That's not nothing. That's going to come up. There will be a first take segment where somebody shouts that with flame coming out of their eyeballs.
That's not really the best.
He's 1-4 against Steph. I mean, that's got to mean something, guys.
It is.
That's mean nothing.
It is interesting. I like in these debates to pre-guess the excuses.
Yeah, well, he had Durant in 2 of them.
Right.
I mean,
okay, but at any point, look.
But LeBron, they did trade everything for AD, and then they did trade even more to load their bench up. Like, this team is loaded up in a way that the Warriors didn't do.
They're deep and they have options, but their third best player on any given night is usually going to be worse than another really good team's third.
I'm just pointing out they spent 9 first-round picks on this roster just to trade for guys on this roster. 10.
Here's what
10
I want to
first-round picks.
If Curry were to beat LeBron in the second round, and I can't believe we get this. I can't believe we get this in the second round. And that's why, when the Lakers were flirting with the play-in stuff, I go, I don't care how you feel about the Lakers. Like, I don't want the LeBron thing to end now. I want to see what's going to happen. I want some big stakes. I can't believe we're this lucky.